The Lone Star of Texas is sitting on a 110-pound sled, getting set for Push-Pull 2.0. Welcome everyone to Dickies Arena here in Fort Worth, Texas, as the 2024 CrossFit Games finds the lights here on a Saturday. I'm Chase Ingham with Adrian Conway and Mike Arsenault. As Heat 1 is done, Heat 2 making their way out on the floor.
It's Push-Pull 2.0. 45 handstand push-ups you can do any way. 80-foot sled pull. With that Texas star, it's going to equal 180 pounds. Then they're going to get into 30 strict handstand push-ups, another sled pull, and finish with 15 free handstand push-ups, which Chase, we saw, is a big part of this event.
Your start list for Heat number 2. A man is getting back into form. That's lane number 6, Austin Hatfield. And honestly, the only one that looks good in the cowboy hat, the most natural, 250-pound listed strict press from this guy.
I'm going to tell you what I think when I hear that. 250-pound strict press, well, a tremendous amount of overhead stability and strength, no doubt. Perhaps a frame that is suited to do handstand push-ups and upside-down work, which this event entails a lot of. I really like the way that he can come out and perform here.
And speaking of frames, a frame I'm just personally jealous of myself. Mr. Luke Parker coming off his best finish at the CrossFit Games last night.
Soon-to-be father. He gives dad bod a very new image compared to the rest of society.
Let's make that dad bod normal again. Heat 2 underway, 45 handstand push-ups into that sled pull, 80 feet across the competition floor. Your time to beat set in the previous heat by Ruan Potkater, 7:35.
We talked about this with Juan in the last heat. He started off really big on the kipping handstand push-ups. Again, it's an easy trap to fall into. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So I'd love to see these guys start to really take some rest, give themselves some breaks, and be able to really hit the accelerator through the 30 strict handstand push-ups, but we'll see. It looked like Hatfield was getting hit with some no-rips there, Chase, and I'm not sure if it was due to hand position.
Well, not just that, but he's also getting a bit frustrated too, and what it is, it's just slowing him down, which is going to cause a lot of issues as far as time under tension is concerned. Off the wall already, Saxon Panchek, right underneath the minute mark, on pace that Ruan had in heat number 1. Here comes Callan Clemens.
See Saxon using his whole entire body. Again, every pull, what he's trying to do is maximize using his lower body, especially in an event like this where his lower body doesn't really go through any type of taxation. He wants to use it as much as he can to free up the energy for his upper body.
A lot of these athletes here. Saxon Panchek, 28 years old, got 7th place in the Northeast semifinal, but started CrossFit back in 2008. Starting standing on the first pull as Saxon Panchek trying to hold off Callan Clemens as Clemens is slowly closing ground over in lane number 4. Now they'll move to 30 strict handstand push-ups, and Austin Hatfield is still on the wall for his first 45 handstand push-ups.
And this is where you think about a few things for Austin. He had some struggles back there, clearly. Got some no reps. There probably was a bit of an emotional investment there that he got a setback, got frustrated and flustered. And as a rookie, that's not uncommon territory, man. You're going to have those bumps in the road. You got to rebound, get your mind right, allow yourself the opportunity to rebound a lot like he did in the clean ladder too.
Now, he might have been about a minute and 20 seconds behind Saxon coming off the wall. However, we've seen that a lot can happen in these middle 30 strict reps. So it's not impossible for him to make up this time.
No, not at all, especially when we know what's coming at the end of this event as a whole. If he comes down here, is clean on his 30, and then knocks the 15 out of the park, yeah, there's a huge chance for him to do a complete 180 of what's going down right now. Hatfield
just gets his sled across the line, and he'll make his way back to 30 strict handstand push-ups.
Saxon down to 3 already.
Reps remaining at how fast Saxon Panchek is flying through these strict handstand push-ups. In fact,
Saxon Panchek is done. Brings his chalk with him, 3:20. He's a minute and 10 seconds ahead of the pace by Ruan.
you look at what Saxon did there, even against the wall, it was really clean execution. I don't think he went overly big on his sets, but he was very consistent, not spending a ton of time on his legs, just shaking out his arms, which we see a lot of the competitors doing right now. And he's just pulling further away.
Able to get your legs into it. Saxon Panchek, the only athlete on the second sled pull. Every other athlete working through those 30 strict handstand push-ups. As we are just past the 4-minute mark, the time to beat 7:35. As Saxon is about 10 feet away before he advances to those 15 freestanding handstand push-ups.
This is where Saxon can fall into the trap of just only competing with those guys that are out there, as we know, we've talked about a lot. Okay. I was confused there. What was going down with the start? He had to make an adjustment to make sure it was flush against the finish platform.
15 freestanding handstand push-ups. Just skip the first rep.
And that can happen. I've practiced these a time or two, Chase. He kind of looked like the way that I do these. I'd rather just walk right over all of them.
I don't know if he's just picking up where he left off with bike to work. You know, we just skip a couple reps here and there. Reps, rounds.
3 reps in.
Upper left corner of your screen, we just passed the 5-minute mark, the time to beat 7:35. Athletes must do at least 3 unbroken, as well as start behind the yellow line and finish past the yellow line for that set to count. Austin Hatfield in the middle lane is now pulling his sled down, but his rope from the other sled is tangled up with that one. I don't know if that's going to pose a problem if that thing gets stretched out too far.
Okay, Saxon into his 3rd repetition now.
Towards your set of 15, looking for 15 reps in total of these freestanding handstand push-ups.
Callum Clements on his freestanding handstand push-ups. Again, the feet can't touch the ground, but you can stabilize your knees and your elbows. And on that round, it looks like Saxon's figured it out.
Certainly his fastest set of 3 right there.
7:35 is the time to beat in heat number 1. Still 2 heats to go after this. But Saxon Panchek, last 2 sets, best 2 sets. He'll be done right over the 6:30 mark.
A little spill there, but hey, on his way to a heat win. You love to see it, and this is actually why, again, we talked about this, Chase, but this is why we love this event, is a lot of things happen leading up to this final portion, but the pressure is so much, and the skill level is so high and high demanding that it's really difficult to make a clean run through all 15.
Callum Clements gets through his 3rd set of 3. Again, 15 total. Callum Clements, 27 years old, out of Denay, Spain. I tell you what, Austin Hatfield just cannot catch a break on the right side of your screen. As Callum Clements gets through his 4th set of 3. 1 more set of 3 to go.
Clemens is doing a really great job at intentionally trying to keep his hands pretty narrow. It's difficult to do with the mat between your arms, but that's where you're going to find the most efficiency in transferring power from your hands all the way through your midline in order to walk efficiently.
I was speaking to a couple of athletes earlier, and they said usually they've been practicing on a flat dolomer where this couple extra inches above them sometimes throws them off. Brandon Luckett working his way through his freestanding handstand push-ups. Look, Adrian, at the end of the day, you're getting a good pump. You might not finish the way you want to, but you're going to look good when the event's over.
You're not wrong, and that might be why we don't see a shirt on throughout the competition floor. Hatfield still having this up and down experience clear out in the competition floor. I mean, both of us really liked what he could bring to the table here. He struggled early. And again, Chase is a rookie. I mean, I've been there. We've seen many other athletes been there. It's like you see athletes that have the capacity to do X, Y, or Z, and it's just about learning and gaining the experience to line it up just right for yourself. And I think Austin's going through a bit of that right now.
Austin Hatfield trying again. And there's a level of frustration that can come from not being able to just nail down the skill. What do you do in that situation when that happens?
I'll tell you, that hopefully it's happened in practice to you, and I don't mean that you fail often, but you have to be used to navigating the self-talk, the self-confidence, regrouping of yourself in order to gather an opportunity to have composure. Otherwise, it'll be too foreign to you. So hopefully that's where a lot of athletes can kind of gather their confidence and find a way to finish even when they're struggling.
30 seconds before we hit that 10-minute cap. And Bruno Marins will get through 12 with 3 left to go. Hatfield has finally gotten through that section that was giving him fits. Hatfield's got 1 more to go. He's got to get across the line after that last rep. He's not going to get it. 3, 2, 1, and that'll do it for heat number 2. New time to beat. Saxon Panchek, 6:31.80.
Time of 6:31.
And it was Saxon here on push-pull 2.0. He was smooth on the kipping, broke up the sets just enough to keep himself under threshold. And on the strict handstand push-ups, Chase, he didn't go too big. He didn't fall into the temptation of really getting close to his reps becoming slow or strained. And that's where he was able to gather a ton of lead. Was on the second pull, the seated one there, even with the miscommunication. One side not touching a platform, had to adjust. He was able to do that again. Shows us the composure of a veteran. And then he kept his cool, gathered himself, had a few no reps on the freestanding handstand push-ups, but then like you said, the final 6 were his best 6, and that got him a heat win.